press the button. Press the button. You take the mouse and you press the button, and then you're live. And you're live and you're hanging out with people like Michael McCarcel. We call him the detective. You're live with people like Laser Bolt Videos. The finest flight simulator videos on YouTube. I still might want to pick up a flight simulator. You got words, says David McKay. Matthew Stokes is here saying press the button. These are my channel members. Many more will be checking on in here. And I enjoy that. I enjoy you. It's the show in which I sit at my desk, pour some coffee, maybe have mint Milano cookies for breakfast. Who's depressed? And hang out with y'all. I am lying, though, to you all today. I'm absolutely lying. Not a lion. I'm lying. I got the bathrobe on. Got the beanie on. That's normal. But underneath this is a complete outfit. I am actually dressed today, and I don't actually have coffee. I feel Laser Bolt video. I'm not aging you, Laser Bolt, but I think you'd appreciate this. This is like a cranberry juice, like a nice cranberry juice in the morning. One of these days, I'd love to all my channel members. I'd love to have not like a Wanger con, but not like a Ken con. If afternoons had kept going, the idea of an afternoons con was real. GPA con was real. Things didn't last. But a Ken Fest. My dream of a Ken Fest is I set up at a diner in, like, you know how diners sometimes have the back room where all the Vietnam vets get together once a month or something like that, and they have pancakes. Ken Fest will be in a diner, and I'll have breakfast with all of you. I have a vision of sharing a cranberry or apple juice, not sharing, but like clinking glasses, both drinking with Laser Ball. That's my goal. Dave McKay says, did I get coffee? I went to Target to use my Target credit card, and I did pick up these. I forgot to get new coffee. I can't order the Nespresso pods right now because I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire. But I'll get there. It's been one of those weeks, which is kind of where we are with the theme today. Look at this thumbnail. I actually like this thumbnail. Did I work hard on it? No. The hardest part was finding a photo that worked. I like that thumbnail. Let's all survive this. The goal for life is survival, I think. It's not to win. I'd love to win. I'd love for all of you to win. We get our wins along the way. Staying alive, survival might be it. We are going to chat a little bit about what's going on with the Oscars because I think it applies to where my mindset is. Keeping in line with what I do on the Blathering, which is, I don't want to say it's on a hiatus. There's a lot of things in my life that are almost on a hiatus. It's been that kind of week, but that's where I'm at. And that's where I'm at. And I think I'm looking toward, and we'll look at some news here. We'll catch up with all of you hanging out here with me. But looking toward the news with the Oscars and the Oscar snubs, which happens every year and will continue to happen every year, no matter who's voting for the pictures. It's just the nature of competition. You set up this competition, there's going to be people who don't win. Though it does matter. It does matter. But we'll get to that in a second. In keeping it with my style of talking like I do on the Blathering, this is 20 minutes of coffee. It's supposed to be news. I'm supposed to look at the stories of Trump sinking, attempting to sink the border solution so that he can blame that all on Biden when it doesn't work out by election season in the fall. We can talk about that story. We might talk about this story. I see there's a story I'm going to click on in a second. But that's a fun story. It involves a cat punching someone. But in keeping with what I do with the Blathering, I'll be honest, it's not been a great stretch for me in a lot of ways. And it all kind of came to a head where 2 nights ago in a Target, I started crying. And if you haven't cried in a Target, I ask you this question, have you even lived? I love Target. It's a big box store. It's a corporation. It might have ruined all the mom and pops, but I go to it. And I just become overwhelmed with my situation, financial, professional, personal side. All of it. Life. We all get there. Doesn't insert your reason. We all get there. And as I was going around just getting food, nothing special, unless you count those Mint Milano cookies. I mean, these are special. These are my fortnight snack. I'm not going to have them now. I'm not going to waste them now. And as I can barely move because my back is still out, I just in the frozen food aisle of the little Target near me, I started crying. Not bawling, not uncontrolled. It wasn't like some scene from like, Sandra Bullock movie where the character has a breakdown and she's going to be Bill Pullman's going to save her. She's going to be all right. I knew I was crying, and I couldn't wear sunglasses. It was at night, and I quickly kind of gathered myself as best I could, got my items, and self-checkout. Thank God. Self-checkout is I have a love-hate relationship with self-checkout, but I like the option. But this Target doesn't really give you the option. It's a smaller Target, and so luckily self-checkout, and then I was out of there and home, and had a bad night and tried to figure things out. But in thinking about the Oscar snub news about Barbie, Dave McKay says in chats, by Oscar snubs, you mean Saltburn not getting any nominations? Or what is that? I see the emoji, all strangers. The damn emoji, it blocks everything. They've got to fix that. I can't see the chats that are anyways. Often we don't see what we have, right? It's a lesson we all got to go through sometimes. Often we don't see what we have. And what you don't have is a reality. And what I don't have right now, in a lot of ways, is a reality you have to work out from under and deal with. But I needed to also have the reminder of here's what we got. And here's what you can build from. And here's what you can do to just survive. Sometimes you just got to survive. You just got to get to the next day, the next week. Financially, professionally, emotionally, all those things. And that's kind of where I'm at. And that's kind of what I did. And it's not easy, and I'm not done. I've cried a lot this week. And I'm not Knuff this week. But I was looking across at the Oscars, man, and I get it. Kingsport cows. Here, there you go. All or nothing. All of strangers. Thank you, Laserbolt. Thank you, Kingsport cow. I don't want to take. I'm not here to take anyone's upset feelings or rage over Barbie having some sort of snub. Now, it didn't have. It wasn't snubbed. It has 8 nominations. One of the most nominated films of the year. Best Picture. Is it going to win Best Picture? No, but it's there. Ryan Gosling and America Ferrera. Billie Eilish. Ryan Gosling nominated for song as well, right? Billie Eilish's song nominated. And then Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig for writing, Best Adapted Screenplay. And I know that, that's a conversation. Whatever. It's based off Dolls. There you go. It's adapted. So it was nominated, and pictures like Saltburn and All of Strangers, not nominated. David McKay has a reason to be upset if he loves those films. But it's okay to be upset at what happened and what everyone's raging about, which is that Greta Gerwig did not get nominated for director, and Margot Robbie did not get nominated for lead actor or actress, as they still call it. But as a producer of the film, Margot Robbie is nominated, and if it pulls off the episode of the year, she heads to the stage. She also talked more, and I saw several people tweeting this. She talked more about being a producer than being a lead. The story is about Barbie, but Ryan Gosling shines in that movie. That's just kind of the reality. America Ferrera shines. Margot Robbie did great. There's 5 nominees. If there was 15 nominees, I'd be maybe more upset. There's 5 nominees. There's a lot of great pictures. Laserbolt says Barbie was snubbed all the way to the bank. It made $1 billion. It changed the world. It did change the world. The legacy of the Barbie movie will not be 2 more nominations it didn't get. It will be what it does to generations of fans of all kinds who find that movie and are changed by that movie, much like I was, because I love the film. Is the film perfect? No. Is it a perfect example of all the best ways to represent people and everything? No. I saw blog posts that ripped into the movie, and it's one of those things of, okay, you're making some points, but you're raging to rage too. But anyways, I also will say it is a problem that Greta Gerwig did not get nominated as director. Justine Triet is her name, right? She was nominated this year for Anatomy of a Fall, nominated for director, and unfortunately, that's still rare, right? It's still rare for a woman to get nominated for Best Director. So that's why I think it's important to have the conversation that Greta Gerwig being left off the Best Director list is a problematic situation, but it's not the end of the world. But I don't, and we live in this world where you don't want to take someone else's fire away because it's not your fire, and I don't have that perspective that they have. So I understand that and respect that. I think it's important to have this conversation. It is tragically hilarious that Ken getting nominated, but Barbie not is one of the things dealt with in the movie, right? It's not one for one. It's not one for one. And Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie weren't competing against each other. Different categories. America Ferrera was in a different category, right? It's that kind of thing. And there's some ways to fix it. This is why I love Kingsport Cow. Kingsport Cow is a channel member. You too can be a channel member and join in this live conversation. Kingsport Cow shows up in other chats of mine, and I just know that a lot of my other friends don't know what to think of Kingsport Cow. But I always say, he's good people. And Kingsport Cow and I are going to ride to the end. And this is why. Kingsport Cow says, I don't get all up in arms over trinkets. That's amazing. I want that on a shirt, Kingsport Cow. I don't get, G-I-T, I don't get all up in arms over trinkets. And all that's, and Michael McCarcel says, I'm in the camp that each category should be expanded to 10 nominees. I'm good with that. They did it for the pictures. And they've tried to, the Oscars have tried to diversify. They've tried to better their voting record. They've tried to expand some things. They tried to appeal, some best moments and big budget pictures. They want it to be a celebration of film, not just the high class films, the art, the top of the top. They want it to celebrate movies. So I think they've tried. So what I do want to celebrate is what is there. And that was something that I wanted to connect back to what I was going through. We're all in it, and we're all just trying to survive this, and we're going to survive this. And this drama over the Barbie nominations will be a footnote in the future. It will be a footnote for about one more year. When next year there's a lot of snubs. Now again, I'm definitely in the camp of discuss these things, right? Who's getting nominated it is important. But also, that's happened here. Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon, gets nominated. 50 years by year, 1973 to 2023, gets nominated in the lead actress category. An indigenous person gets nominated and will appear at a ceremony. And I'm going to mention this in the Anytime News tomorrow, so you're getting a preview of it. But she gets to appear as a nominee in the lead actress category at a ceremony that 50 years ago had a famous incident in which Shasheen Littlefeather was sent to collect Marlon Brando's Godfather Oscar win to protest the stereotyping of Native American people in film. And she was booed. She was shunned. She was basically thrown out of the building by A-listers. And 50 years is a long time for a tiny, tiny increment of change. That's also how change works. But we have that. We have a woman who's nominated in the Best Director category. It should happen every year. If there's worthy contenders, and there every year are worthy contenders. There should be more than just one every few years where we go, oh my God, that's amazing. But we have that. And we have some great films. And we have some films Not theirs, as Dave McKay said. Doesn't mean you can't be upset. Doesn't mean you can't think. Michael McCarthy's got a great comment here. I can only speak to so much to the movies and performers who got nominated because I haven't seen most of these movies, but I can say that I was blown away by Barbie, and it doesn't work without Marco, and I absolutely agree with that. I think there's a huge disparity between the typical Oscar movies and the movies that normal people actually see. More movies for the general public should be acknowledged. Yeah, and I think the Oscars realize that, and that's one of the things that's not necessarily right for society to do. Like, oh, those movies are too highfalutin, and I'm not saying that's what Michael was saying, but that's sometimes the vibe, right? And the Oscars like, we've got Remains of the Day, but they want Rambo. Like, and you're not going to nominate Rambo. But actually, I'll say this: the first Rambo is a film. You could have nominated that. But yeah, these are good conversations to have. But I don't want it, and I don't think, and I can't make anyone give up their rage or concern over Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie not getting nominated. But there are, America Ferrera got nominated. That's amazing. I love that monologue that she has in the movie. I think it's great that Gosling got nominated too, by the way. The Academy is not often kind to pictures that are kind of in that comedy category. And Barbie is not just simply a comedy, but it's definitely more fantastical. Look at Lord of the Rings. Return of the King was almost like a fine, we will give you an Oscar for this whole Lord of the Rings bullshit. Two Towers, I think, is the better of the films. But I love them all. But, Return of the King was the winner. Matthew Stokes says, the idea that you have to win, quote unquote, win an Oscar to beat someone or something else in order to get the proper recognition seems kind of outdated when you think about it. People deserve it or they don't. Yeah, and I'm not someone that says get rid of the award shows, but can't we see some of the truth of it? Which is why being nominated, and again, this is an argument maybe for why they should have been nominated, but like to Michael's point earlier of expanding the categories, if it's 10 people who are nominated instead of 5, to me it doesn't water down the exclusivity of it. It just does to that point that Matthew is making here. Let's recognize, because this zero-sum game, this competition, this making art into a competition is problematic in itself and always has been. But I think the intent is there of, hey, these are the things that moved us. Let's hold a vote, right? Let's hold a vote. So anyways, in feeling a lot of pain and feeling a lot of anger and feeling a lot of overwhelmed feelings of fear. There you go. Feeling a lot of overwhelmed feelings of fear. I'm a poet. Look for what you got. And there's a lot of great things to celebrate in this year's Academy Award nominees. And I think that is something that we should focus on and try to focus on, while also acknowledging the upsetting nature of some of the snubs or the upsetting themes behind the snubs, which is one of those things there. Ex-Trump advisor gets 4 months in jail for defying subpoena January 6 probe. There you go. Is that going to change anything? No. Trump is going to be the nominee. Trump gave a very troubling speech yesterday, one of many, in which he talked about basically if he gets, and in his mind, when he gets back in office, he's basically saying, I am vengeance. And it's not unlike fascist leaders and dictators from the past. So watch that stuff. Moving from Oscars to this. I'm almost out of here today. Like I said, I have to leave right after that. I feel as though this 20 minutes of coffee is kind of a lie. Because my day had already begun. That's why I got this cranberry juice. I got to head to a chain restaurant I haven't gone to in a while. I'll go to it, and then next week I'll update all of you on it, just in case. Kingsport Cal is out in my area, and he ends up at that restaurant looking for me. I don't want to do that. Well, okay, there's two. I like looking at these stories, and I swear to God I have not clicked on them yet. We got one story I was going to look at. But I also want to look at this one. Tom Hollander mistakenly sent huge Avengers bonus meant for Tom Holland. This is British actor Tom Hollander, who is on White Lotus, so he's making a little bit of cash. Said he was once mistakenly sent Tom Holland's first whopping 7-figure Avengers box office bonus. Told the story on Late Night with Seth Meyers. By the way, Jon Stewart back for one night of Daily Show a week, executive producing the show. I like that. Will it actually help the election in the fall? Maybe. It actually might. Matthew Stokes got to change his name to Chris Hemsworthy. That's a great joke, Matthew. You should write my jokes for Anytime News. It would help me. I'm reading, so I don't know if he's talking about it gets introduced as Tom Holland. But what happened when the Money Show showed up? He wanted to recall what happened when he was on the same agency as the Spider-Man star. Briefly, he made sure to emphasize that the people in the accounts department got confused. He said he went to see a friend who was doing theater in England. And Hollander sat smugly on us, having just done a BBC show around $30,000. What is this? Okay, here it is. Here's the story. Sorry, I want to get to the actual story. Hollander recounted that when he checked his inbox during the interval at the play, I got an email from my agency saying, payment advice slip, your first box office bonus for the Avengers. And I thought, I don't think I'm in the Avengers. And it was an astonishing amount of money. And it was not his salary. It was his first box office bonus. Not the whole box office, the first one. And it was more money than I've ever seen. It was a 7-figure sum. That's in the millions, my friends. He added that Holland was 20 or something, so my feeling of smugness that you remember I had in the first half of the play, because he was making more money than his friends, disappeared very quickly. That show business is up, it's down, it's here. I imagine you got to return the money. I wonder, they're going to come after that money. I don't think Tom Holland would come after that money, but the Disney Studios would come after that money. Yeah, hell of a mistake to work, says Matty Gunner, who's now known as Robert Downey III. God bless them all. God bless them all. I don't ever want to be jealous of people's money, whether I have it or not. But I'll tell you this story. I did not receive money. I was one time at a job, and there was a coworker who had left his paycheck back when, most places now you don't even get a paycheck anymore. You get a deposit or whatever. He had left his paycheck and the pay stub on his desk, and I went to just drop something off. And, you see it, and you're like, oh, that's a pay stub. I'm not going to look at that. Oh, yeah, I'm going to look at that. And it wasn't like oh, my God, 7-figure number. But it was obviously way more than I made, which wasn't the problem, and it made sense. But I just remember thinking, that kind of money's available for this job that we're doing? How can I get there? Why can't I get it? And I was affected for the next week. My job performance was affected because I thought, whoo. David McKay says, I work in payroll. You overpay people, and they always want to pay it back in installments. Yeah, I would imagine that would be the case. Can I work on this? Getting this back to you? Final story of the day. Kitty gets disqualified from cat show after swatting the judge. There's a lot. Look at this. Cat fight at a cat show. This is amazing. Here we go. Oh, let's get through this ad. Sorry. I'll get through this ad. Let's all watch this video together. Oh, what an ad. A great ad. Got a doggy with a lady who needs the love of a doggy. I don't know. Is that what this commercial's about? Can you all see this okay? My dog and I need sunshine. Oh, we all need sunshine. It's raining again in Burbank today. I need some sunshine too. All right. Can I skip this ad yet? No. Okay, here we go. Cat story. Let's all watch this together.
They get stroked, they get lifted, they get stretched, they get their tails touched. No wonder a 2-year-old named Ludwig von Beethoven lost his composure. He even slapped the judge. Veteran judge Vicky Nye says she fondly refers to the video.
It was the Black Cat Smackdown.
The pedigreed show cats are accustomed to
Okay, thank you. That's amazing. I love that. Jeannie Mose. Jeannie Mose has been doing that stuff for CNN Free. She does all the funny stories. Her whole career has been on the final story of the night stuff, Jeannie Mose. Solid, right? That was a solid hit. I guess would he have to be, I'm not going to listen to the rest of the story, but I guess he'd have to be disqualified. Maybe it's disqualified on principle. But I love that. That was a I don't love cats as much as I love dogs, but I'm on the side of that cat. Cat was like, no, not today. You guys are kicks for cow. Got him. All right, everybody. Thanks for letting me share. Thanks for letting me share where I'm at. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for being a channel member. If you watch live with me or in the chat, if you're watching later, leave me a comment that says, hey, I'm watching later. And I would have punched that judge lady too if she grabbed my tail. Let me know. And again, when having the discussions about the Oscars, be respectful of some people being really confused and upset and troubled by these snubs, but also don't be afraid to carry your own perspective and have perspective of the world and celebrate what is there. I'm trying to celebrate what is here in my life. You watching are part of what that is to me, so I appreciate it. We'll see you soon. See you next week. See you on Anytime tomorrow at 11 a.m. Guest Ken Plume. We're going to be talking about disruption is destruction. And I got some news. We're going to talk more of the Oscars, all that stuff. That's what we do.